I'm just going to do a refresher on what we did last week Saturday, because we had a problem with some technical glitches or the network, if I can call it that way. And I've decided that we have to go back and redo the whole thing. And with a little bit of a question, should we have time, then we're going to move on to the theory regarding the CGT, right? Okay, learning unit, as we can start off by on this learning unit today, it's all about calculating the taxable income. You know, we deal with the framework. They always repeat that framework in your guide, so you just have to follow the framework as you always do questions and stuff like that, just to see exactly where items fit in terms of the sequence. When you because if you don't follow the framework, you're not gonna make it right. But the first step in calculating the taxable income is establishing your gross income, which would include different types of income that may be classified as your gross income. So items like your salaries, your commissions, and your bonuses and investment income. Rental income, interest, and the dividends, we all know they form part of your gross income. And we did that. We've been seeing the song with regards to those kind of items before. Okay, so now it's just to clarify things. But all income that meets the requirements of the definition of the gross income is included in the gross income as discussed in learning unit. We started by this in learning unit 3, right? Then we keep on bringing it back as and when we continue. Okay, so the definition, sorry, the requirements would go as follows. There must be a resident with a total amount in cash or otherwise. Otherwise, they mostly refer to your fringe benefits, right? So it has to be within the year or the period of assessments, which is 12 months period, or it can be apportioned. It should be received or accrued due to the taxpayer. All right, that excludes the receipts or accrual of a capital nature, including the fringe benefits. Right, as I said, that the amount in cash or otherwise include your fringe benefit items. So as you all know, that the receipts or accruals of the capital nature is mostly items that falls under your CGT calculations, which we'll cover by today or maybe next week. Okay. So if the above requirements is present, the amount will be included in the gross income as part of your taxable calculations, including the fringe benefit, which is referred to as a non-cash benefit granted to employees by employers in addition to their normal wages and salaries, but do not constitute the cash payments to be all made. Right, these fringe benefits must be converted into a cash equivalent. As you do calculations, they're going to be regarded as the cash equivalent kind of thing, right? And they have to form part of your taxable benefit that should be included in the employee's taxable income calculations. So the next step is to exclude any gross income from which the X provide as the exempt. So when you do the framework, you start with your gross income and then you look at items that falls or qualifies to be the exempt. It has its own requirements in learning unit 3. If you're not clear with that, you can go back because we touched base on that one. Right? So remember or know that an income that can only be exempt, it has to be included in your gross income first. That should form part of your taxable income or your income or your total income in your tax calculations. You first need to include your income in the gross income and then include the exemptions under the exempt. So basically what they're saying is you need to know what are your gross income or what are your incomes. And then out of the incomes that you put it in under your framework, you're going to have what's called the exempt. Right. So just as I've said that we're doing the refresher on this one. So in learning unit 3, we've discussed the following as part of your exempt: South African interest paid to South African resident and the dividends including the foreign. And the next step is to make the general deductions formula in the general deductions formula. So after you do your gross income, you're listing them under the gross income. You're going to do the exempt. After identifying your exempt, you're going to move on to the general deductions formula, which is mostly your expenses. Right. And the requirements with regards to your general deductions formula, it says that you need to be carrying on a trade, and there should be an expenditure and losses which are actually incurred in the production of income and not of a capital nature, partially or fully expended for the purpose of trade, meaning that there must be a trade on that one. So if all the requirements above must be present before an amount can be deducted. So I think we'll be dealing with that in this learning unit as well. So salary taxpayer qualify for certain deductions of expenses that they must pay, and the deductions reduce the taxable income, and these amounts must be deducted in a specific order. Things like your pension fund, your provident fund, as well as your RAF, the retirement annuity fund, may form part of your deductions. Obviously, they're going to be done in a specific order. So salary taxpayer may claim very few deductions, which includes the following. Some of them are compulsory for permanent staff, and some are actually allocated to temp staff. So pension fund, as I've mentioned, and the retirement annuity fund, including the provident fund contributions, along with your donations to the public benefit organizations. Right, I think that's where we would cut off the last week when we were doing the tax class. Okay, before I go further, is there any questions on this? No questions. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I think I've opened my. Okay, cool. Let's see there now. So looking at your pension fund, your retirement annuity fund, and provident fund contributions to the retirement funds are deductible for the income tax purposes, but we've got some limitations on that process that we have to follow. It says that any contribution paid by an employer are taxed as a benefit and will be included as part of your total contributions made to funds. Your retirement funds, including your pension fund, your retirement annuity funds, along with your provident fund, when you determine your taxable income for a natural person in respect of any year of assessment. The nice part about this part is, as an employee, you don't have to do these things. Your employer, they do that on your behalf. Okay. Let's look at our contributions and how they treated. The contributions that may be claimed as the deductions in the current year of assessment are limited to the lesser of 350,000 rands. You have to know that it's a standard rule in regards to this amount, or 25.5% of the higher of the remunerations. Usually they give you what's called the remunerations or the taxable income. It's what you have to calculate on top when you do your gross income, right? Or the taxable income of that person before, including any taxable capital gain. We haven't touched on that one. Remunerations referred to as the remunerations for employee tax purposes, but exclude the retirement lump sum and severance benefits. So your remunerations will include your salaries, your fees, your bonus, your gratuities, pension funds, and leave payouts, your voluntary award commission, or overtime payments received from the employer, and specifically include the following. So in most cases, you're going to deal with the retirement fund contributions, the pension, along with your provident. I think I've repeated my retirement annuity fund. So there are steps that has to be followed. So you need to calculate the percentage limit in regards to 27.5% of the greater of your remunerations of taxable income. So like I said, sometimes they want you to calculate the taxable income yourself, and then you have to make an adjustment, or they will give you the remunerations. So if they give you the remuneration amount and the taxable income after you make it, you need to know that you need to take 27.5 towards your taxable income. Otherwise, the remuneration amount might just be given to you. Step 2 will be the total contributions that are deductible but limited to the lesser of 350. I think I mentioned that above, or the taxable income excluding the CGT, 48 to 80% of the travel allowance received from the taxpayer's employer, or the 80% of the taxable value of the ride use of the motor vehicle received from your taxpayer's employer. So fringe benefits such as your medical aid received from your taxpayer's employer. So looking at the taxable income, which is referred as to the retirement lump sum and severance benefits, and is the taxable income before the deductions of qualifying retirement contributions, including qualifying foreign tax credits under your section 6 quad 1C. You don't need to know the section at this point in time. Your level doesn't require you to cram or know that. Right. And looking as well as your bona fide donations under your section 18A of the receipt. Contributions made in prior years that are not allowed as deductions in those years will be carried forward in the current year of assessment unless they had been deducted from the retirement fund lump sum or withdrawal benefit was set against the compulsory annuity. Let's look at the area's contributions, which simply get added to the current year's contributions and treated the same. Meaning that if you've got the area's contributions, you need to make sure that they are included in the current year and be treated in the same manner as the contributions in the current year. The limitations apply to some of all the contributions made to pension fund, contribution fund, along with your retirement fund annuity, right? So you can look at my note here where it says that the remunerations will always be given in your exam. Okay, this is where we left off things the last week. I just want to clarify this thing so that we can just get up to one of the examples that I've made down here. So donation to your public benefit organization, you should know which entities qualify as a PBO or which ones doesn't qualify as a PBO. Sometimes they'll just give you intentionally a donation that doesn't form part of your PBO. So it says that if a person donates to a public benefit organization that is registered with SARS to qualify for Section 18, the person making the donation will qualify for that deduction. However, before the deduction can be claimed, an official section in terms of the Section 18 receipt must be obtained. So that means that when the donation is made, Section 18A, the receipt must be obtained just to ensure that you're making a donation towards your public benefit organizations. So in a question, there will be some specification as to whether the donation was made to a PBO or not. However, if Section 18A, the receipt was obtained, it will be a PBO because an entity cannot be given a Section 18A receipt if it is not a PBO. So sometimes they'll just tell you that this donation has been made to so and so and so, but they don't mention that it's actually a PBO. But they issue the receipt of the receipt in terms of 18 section, official Section 18A. So automatically you must just know that, okay, that's a receipt with regards to my Section 18A that has been obtainable. Automatically that will qualify that as a PBO. Right, the deduction for the donation is limited to 10% of your taxable income. The taxable income at the upper part that you made, you must just take that amount and multiply that by percentage before the donations, but limited to the actual donation made or the lesser of the adjusted taxable income. All right, what they're saying here basically is if taxable income, you need to show that calculations, unfortunately. You just need to take the taxable amount, multiply that by 10%, and then you're going to compare the two. The two meaning the amount that has been donated along with the adjusted amount from the taxable income. And then you take the lesser to be disclosed. Okay, I've got this question for you. It says that means that brings us to the end of our theory in regards to our learning unit 6. Anyway, we did it the last week, but I was just trying to clarify it. So we've got Penny Russell, who is 35 years old and is unmarried. I took this from your guide. Penny received the following gross income during the year with a salary of 360,000 rand. The bonus amount is 250,000 rand. Penny paid the following expenses during the year of assessment, which is the retirement annuity fund contributions of 3,500 rand. There was a donation to PBO. They received Section 18A receipt with an amount of 2,500 rand, along with the pension fund contributions. Okay. So, do you guys have any idea on how you're going to approach this kind of a question? Pal, how are you? How you approach this question, you're going to do what's called the taxable income calculations. I'm going to do it with you, and then the next one we'll do it together. So this is how your solution would look like. Solution to Penny taxable income. So this is how it goes. You're going to have what's called the salary with an amount of 360,000 rands. And you're going to have the bonus with an amount of 25,000 rand. And then you're going to look at the other incomes. And then you say, no, there are no any other incomes that you guys have received as a taxpayer. And then you're going to look at, so you're going to have what's called the taxable income, meaning that you have to calculate this. So 360 plus 25,000 rand, you're going to have 385,000 rand. That's your taxable income. Sorry, let me just rectify this. Taxable income. So this is your total taxable income. And you're going to have what's called the exempt. Any exempt, so you just say none. No exempt. So your exempt will be nil. And then you're going to have what's called the deductions. We just dealt with that one as part of our theory, so we are practicing that one now. So in regards to our deductions, I think we didn't do this part in the class before. So in regards to the deductions, you're going to look at the contributions that has been made, right? So you're going to follow that step. So you're going to have contributions made, and you're going to follow your steps. You need to show me that you're following steps. Step number one, you need to determine what's called the percentage limit. Okay. Now we are bringing that 27.5% along with 350,000 rand. So step one, you're going to determine the percentage limit. So you just say step one, percentage limit, which is an amount of how much? 27,500, sorry, 27.5 of the remuneration or the taxable income. Since when we are not given the remunerations, it means that we're going to use taxable income. So this is how you're going to approach it. You will say 385,000 rand. Then you multiply this by 27.5%. Okay, so you will say, let's see, I'm just doing my calculations. 385,123, and then you multiply this by 27.5. and then you divide this by 100, meaning that you are going to have an equal sign of, I've got 105,875. Okay, this is my step one in regards to the determination of the percentage limit. So number two, you're going to look at how much have you contributed, how much is your actual contributions. Step two, it will be like this. Step two, actual contributions. You're going to look at, let's go to the question itself. Contributions was made in terms of your retirement along with your pension fund contributions. Now you're going to say actual contributions would include the retirement and pension fund. Okay, then you're going to say how much is the amount. So the amount for retirement is 3.5 and pension fund is 28,500 rand. It's 3.5 plus 27,000. Is it 27,005? Sorry, I have to go up and check. 8,800 each will be 28,800 rand. Then you add them together, where you'd have 3.5, and then you plus it with 28,800 rand. So it's 32,300 rand. 32,300 rand. So you're done with your step two, and then you bring what's called the lesser of 350. Remember, that's your standard rate. So what you do is you take lesser of, remember the 350,000 rand is something that you must just know. It's not going to be given to you in the exam. So you'd say the lesser of 350,000 rand or 105,875. And then you're going to look at the lesser in between the two figures, which is 105. And you will include your 105,875. Sorry, 105,875, because it's actually the lesser one. Right, and then we're going to look at what's called the donations. So donation made was an amount, that's the last item. So you're going to take donations. Donations, we are told that there's a 2,500 rand of the donation that has been made to a PBO in terms of the section 18A receipt. So this is how you're going to disclose it. You're going to say 2.5 or the adjusted % of taxable income. Basically, you're going to say 385 multiplied by 10%. So you're going to say 385, 123, you multiply this by 10%. And let's get to that one. It's 385, 123, and then you multiply this by 10%, which is 38,500 rand. So your equal sign will be 38,500 rand. Obviously, this is the lesser. This one is the lesser, and then you just you disclose it here, say 2,500 rand. Then it should be in the brackets, and this one should be in the brackets as well. Sorry, I think I made a mistake. Right. Then you do this. That's part of your deduction. Then this is what you're going to do. You're going to say 380. This is your total taxable. Let's bring it here. 385,000. We say multiply by 10. So you're going to say 385,000 rand minus 105,875. Then you minus your 2,500 rand, and then you get what? Your taxable income is 276,625. That's your final answer. Okay, and then you bring it here, and then we say tax payable. Tax payable for income. Okay. 276625. 276625. So these would basically be your final answer. Okay, let's do this. Any questions? Any questions? Mbali, are you fine? Well, are you all right? And we've got, let me see, I didn't get your name. KS, are you all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Pearl, are you all right? Because we're gonna do the next question now, and then I need you to contribute. So if you're not okay now, then let me know so that I can help you with the problems that you might be encountering. Is everybody comfortable with this part? Buddy? Hi, Pearl?
Yes.
Are you fine?
Yes, I'm fine.
Are you ready to go for the next question?
Yes, of course.
Okay, because I'm going to need your interactions. And Pearl? Pearl, can you unmute yourself? I would like us to attend the next question. All right, no, that's fine. Let's see. Let me just see something. Sorry, KS, what's your name? Your name doesn't show on the Teams. What is your name? KS?
Kolofelo.
Sorry, Kolofelo.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Let's have a look at what's given up. It's not bad, right? It's not bad. All right, let's have the second question together. We've got Geneva Green is 38 years old, and she's married out of community of property and has 2 children, 5 and 8 years old. She had the following incomes and expenses for the current year of assessment. So there's a salary. I think I made a mistake here. Let's see. There's a salary of 250,000 rand, including the bonus of 10,000 rand, and the expenses contributions made to the retirement annuity fund would look at note 1, and then contributions towards the medical aid fund would look at note 2. There's a donation again of 15,000 rand, and contributions made to pension fund would look at, okay, donation is 15,000, and pension fund is 20,800 rand. It's also on note 4. Okay. So additional information goes this way. Jennifer contributed 300 rand per month to a retirement fund annuity for the full tax year, meaning 300 rand per month for 12 months. So she again contributed 2,500 rand for a month towards the medical aid for the full tax year. And the employer did not make any contributions for the full tax year, meaning that there is no fringe benefit that the employer made under Jennifer. She had the following qualifying medical expenses: 10,200 rand for the current year of assessment, and her husband and 2 children are dependent on the medical aid. Neither Geneva or any of her dependents are people or persons with disabilities as defined. You remember the formula that we have with regards to the medical aid. The disability people and people that are not disabled. So you also need to bear that one in your mind. All right, so let's look at note 4. It says Jennifer donated 15,000 rand to the University of Cape Town and received the Section 18A receipt. Jennifer also contributed 8% of her salary and bonuses to the pension fund each month and contributed for the full year. Calculate Jennifer's tax payable for the current year of assessment. Right, let's start. How do you approach this question? Let me bring you up to speed now. Let me bring up Komojo. What's your take on this?
Kulufelo.
Oh, Kulufelo, sorry. Yes.
I think what we can do right now is to add the salary and the bonus to get the taxable income.
Salary and bonus. Thank you very much. Can you see salary? Okay. Okay. And how much? Can you see the amount of the salary there?
Unfortunately, no.
Can you bring it? It's 250, right? 1,000 rands. Okay, it's 250,000 rand. And then the bonus. Bonus, isn't it 10,000?
10,000.
10,000 rand. Okay, 10,000 rand. And that gives us what? 260,000, right?
Yeah.
So that's basically your income. Right? That's your income. Again, then where do you go from here? Where do we go from here? Deductions, right? From here, you're going to have what's called deductions. What are what deductions here?
Her contributions. I think we're going to add all her contributions. I don't know, contributions made.
Contributions made. All right, why didn't you determine because your first step, you're going to look at the steps, right? One will be you determine the percentage limit. You remember that?
Yeah.
Which is what? 27.5% of 260,000 rand. You get it?
Yes, let me calculate it quickly.
Okay. You will give me the figure when you're done.
It's 71,500.
Okay, and the amount is 71,500 Rand. All right, now how do you move forward?
And then it's step 2, annual contributions.
Annual contributions on this. Thank you so much. 2, let me just make annual contributions. Then how do you contributions? Okay, then how, my apologies. What do you do on your annual contributions?
You add the contributions.
You add the contributions.
Yeah, and then after adding the contributions, you're gonna find out which one is the lesser between the total of the annual contributions and the taxable income, I think.
Okay, thank you very much. But how much are your contributions? Let me on that one. Let me go back to the question so that you can see.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so we've got an expense contribution made to the retirement annuity fund. Let's look at note number 1. They say that Jennifer contributed 3,000 Rand per month towards the RAF for the full tax year. What do we do with this?
She contributed 300 Rand per month to, then it means we're gonna multiply the 300 Rand times 12 because it's
multiplied by 12.
Yeah, and then it's gonna be 3,600.
Okay, 3,006. Right. Okay, that's fine. And then what are the other contributions? Let me go back. There's an expense contributions made to the RAF. Okay, this one we've dealt with. The medical aid.
Okay.
What do you do? What do you do with the medical aid?
Let me see. I'm not sure if we add the medical aid contributions because I'm not really sure.
Okay. All right. Can somebody help? Sorry. Can somebody help Komojo, please? Help. But Pearl is also not there. Okay, medical contributions would not form part of the steps in terms of determining the lesser of the amount. However, we're going to do a separate calculations with regards to the medical aid contributions. Remember that. Okay, the next one is donation. Obviously, it's going to be the last. And then we've got contributions made to a pension fund, which is 20,800 Rand. So they gave us note 4 here. But I think we have to take it as it is. Jennifer donated, okay, it has nothing to do with that. 15,000 Rand to the University of Cape Town and received this. Jennifer contributed 8% of the salary and the bonus to the pension fund for each year. Okay, so, basically what you have to do, this is what you can do. It's 8% of the salary. So what you can do is you can just show me the calculations and say 8% of how much is the salary? 250. So you multiply it by 250,000 Rands. Help me that side quickly. $250 multiplied by 8 divided by 100.
I think it's 20,000.
It's 20,000 Rand, right? 20,000 Rand. However, we had the pension, which is greater, is going to be with an amount of 20,800 Rand, is the one that has to be taken. 20,800, let me just say considered, or to be disclosed. Let me say to be considered. Okay. So let's go to the next one. The next one is what? All right, 260 of 27.5% is how much? Somebody give me, okay, we got 71,500 Rand, right? And the annual contributions were 300 multiplied by 12, which is 3.6, and 8% of 250,000 Rand, but we consider 20,800 because it's the greater. And let's have a look at the disclosure part. Okay, so you'd say it will be limited to, remember, 350,000 Rand.
Yeah.
That's the standard one. So let me go to the question again. I just want to check something quickly. Okay, so it looks like we are done with this part. So it's 20,000, I think is actually the lesser, 20,800 plus 3.6. How much is it?
20,800 plus?
20,800 plus, plus 3.6. Because remember, these are the total annual contributions, and it's actually the lesser in terms of 71,500 Rand and 350,000 Rands. So what you do, you say 20,800, and then you plus it with 3.6.
So we don't add the other 20,000.
No, because it's lesser. Remember, it was given twice as the pension, so we take the greater in between the two. If it was, let's say it was 22, for example, we were going to take this one.
Okay.
Right, so meaning that 20,000 plus 3.6 should be the one disclosed. It gave me an amount of 24,400 Rand.
Yes.
What's your total to be deducted? So we're going to look at donation. Donation would be, let's have a look at the question again. Sorry, let me look at the donation quickly. 2,500, sorry, donation, where is donation? Okay, 15,000 Rand, which is the one that was made to UCT, right?
Yes.
So remember, with regards to donation, you would say donation is, that's equal to 15,000 Rand. You're going to take taxable income, I think it's 260,000 Rand, and you multiply that by 10, right? So it should be somewhere 26,000, I guess.
Yes.
Is it 26? Then you're going to have an equal sign of 26,000 Rands. Then you're going to disclose this one because it's the lesser. Okay, taking the lesser, which is 15,000 Rands. Not bad, eh? So your taxable income would be 260 minus 24,400 Rand and 15,000 Rand. Then you're going to bring it here. Let me calculate the final figure. 260,000 minus 24,400, then you minus 15,000. So it should be 220,600.
Yes.
220,600. You got the same amount, right?
Yeah, I got the same amount.
Yeah. So we did this question twice. Are you encountering any problems?
So far so good. Last week, remember we were calculating, what is that? We were calculating the cost of business travel, calculating business kilometers, deemed cost. I think we didn't clarify that whole situation, and you said that we must go do it at home. Obviously, yeah, we are doing it at home, and then we'll redo it together.
We'll redo it together today. Do you want it in a form of questions? I think theoretical part has been covered, but we did.
Yeah. Yes, let's do it in form of questions.
Okay. Let me see which question can I pick quickly. Just a moment. Is there any question that you have in mind, maybe?
The one that we did yesterday, the one that we did last week, it's just that I couldn't screen munch the whole question, so I couldn't have all the details.
Okay. No, it's fine. We'll do that. Let's finish up with the medical aid part, and then we'll go back and pick up one of the questions in regards to the travel allowance. Is it fine?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So let's have a look at the medical aid. Do you guys still remember the medical aid part?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Medical aid. Contributions. As we agreed that it has to be calculated separately. Okay. Konofelo, do you have an idea? What do we do with regards to the medical aid?
With regards to the medical aid, I think we have to calculate section A and section B.
Section A.
If it requires us to calculate section B.
Okay. So what would be your approach in regards to this kind of a question?
Can you please go up so I can see the question, so I can think of the approach?
Okay. Let me see. Oh, you don't see the question? Yes. Oh, because we are at the below. Let me go up. Sorry. This is the question. Right, is Jennifer 38 years of age and she's married out of community of property and has 2 children, 5 and 8 years old. She had the following incomes and expenses for the current year of assessment. We dealt with that part of your incomes, and let's look at how the contributions works. We had contributions made to the medical aid fund. Let's go to note 2. Jennifer contributed 2.5 per month to a medical aid for the full tax year, meaning that this person was paying 2,500 per month. And for the whole year, it's going to be, obviously, we'd say 2,500 multiplied by 12, and then we'll give you the total or the entire contributions for the whole year. Yep. Have an idea in the meantime. Have an idea on how you're going to approach this kind of a question, and you'll let me know.
Okay.
You can let me know as soon as you thought of something.
I think we're gonna start with section. What is this? Section A first. So we're going to say how much. How many? I think it's 5 children and her. So if her as an individual, it's gonna be 319 plus another member, which is gonna be another 319, and then the remaining children, I think it's gonna be 200 and something. I'm not sure. I can't see the notes for that amount that one should contribute.
Okay. Okay, let me see. You say you are applying your section A. I'm going to move on to, move from the question. You're applying section A.
Yeah.
Then what do you do?
Then I say the rule of medical aid is that the main member pays a monthly fee of 319, I think.
319?
Yeah, 319. Yes.
Okay.
And then you multiply that 319 by 2.
By 2.
Yes. And then the other remaining children. I'm not sure how many children she had. I think it was 5 to
No, it
be.
was 2.
Was it 2? Then
Yes.
you're gonna say um um what is the other amount? I think it's gonna be 219 multiplied by 1.
219 multiplied by 1.
Yeah, and then we should get the total um contributions.
Okay.
The MTC, we should get MTC.
MTC.
Yes.
Okay. And then the next step would be
After getting the MTC, the next step would be section section B, which is calculating additional medical expenses.
additional medical expenses. Okay. Then what do we do?
Uh, Here we have to determine whether is does she have a disabled child, or if she does have a disabled child, there's a formula that we
But the question told us that none of the family members are the children. None of the family members defined as a disability.
okay, then there's another formula that we use
All
um,
right.
that has a 20 um, that has a 7%. I'm not sure, let me go back so I can give you exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay. No problem. Are you still searching?
Excuse me.
Are you still searching for that part?
Yes, I'm still searching.
Okay. Hi Zinzi. Oh, Zininzi. Hi Zininzi.
Okay. Um, okay. So we did the medical aid scheme total contributions, and additional medical expenses tax credit. That's what we're gonna be doing. So we
Okay.
have to first calculate excess. Do we have excess? I don't think we have excess.
And what else? So you said excess.
Yeah.
Excess. Then how do you calculate your excess?
Mm, I think we're gonna have to add all the money that she has paid that the medical aid didn't pay on her behalf.
Okay. How much are those amounts?
You would need to go back to the question.
It's on note 2.
Oh, okay, then it's gonna be
Medical aid is actually referred to note 2.
30,000. It's gonna be 30,000.
It's gonna be so 30,000 is from where is it? 2.5 multiplied by 12 is where you
Yes,
get it.
yes.
Okay. It's 2.5. 3,500, and then you multiply this by 12. You said it's 30,000.
Hmm?
Okay. Okay, and then from here, where do we go?
Then from there, um, we did qualifying, and then we're gonna say we have to subtract 7.5.
7.5. Is it 319 multiplied by 2 and 219 multiplied by 1?
Yes.
Okay. It gave an amount of how much? 3.5.
Let me calculate it. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Three
So
multiplied by 2 equals 2, okay, and then plus 219 multiplied by 1 equals to, I don't think I'm calculating it correctly.
It gave me an amount of 540.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, 540. So are you saying that we are deducting this one?
219 times 1. It gave me, I don't know, it gave me 857.
So you said 319 multiplied by 2 plus 219.
Yeah.
And then it gave you how much? Because it gave me 540. 219 multiplied by 1 is going to...
Yeah, no, you're correct.
Okay.
You're correct.
So are we deducting this from the 30,000?
Yes.
Okay, meaning that we're going to have 24,000. 24,000. 4,060 rands. Final answer. Komujo, are you there?
Kolofelo.
Sorry about that. Okay, so this is your final answer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's fine. Pearl, do you want to take a shot? Okay, let me welcome Zinizi. Zinizi, we were doing a question with regards to the tax payable, including the medical aid. And Godfrey, you're welcome as well. So we were doing a question with regards to the tax payable in addition to the medical aid contributions calculations. So Kolofelo gave us her attempt. Is there any of you who wants to attempt or who want to give a shot with regards to this kind of a question or in regards to this question? Hi, Zinizi. Please unmute yourself. Just say hi. And hi, Godfrey. Okay. I hope they do hear me. All right, Kolofelo. Sorry, thank you so much for your attempt in regards to the medical aid contributions. All right, there's quite a few wrongs that you have made there, but I just want to clarify you to have an idea, or the whole of you to have an idea on how to approach this kind of question. When you're required to do the medical aid contributions, remember in Learning Unit 3, we were introduced to this other table where you have to match your line items in regards to taxable income obtained. Okay, I don't know if we usually call them the tax brackets. That's where you would qualify in terms of how much are you earning. Do you guys remember that? I don't know if you guys have started with me when I was doing that. So basically what you do is you're going to look at your taxable income, and then you're going to go to that table and match that tax bracket line item, and you're going to make a few adjustments. But according to my solution there, you're going to say it matched, I think it was line 3 or line 2, and you're going to say 220,600 minus 205, and then you plus it with that amount on the same line bracket item. So it was an amount of 3706, and then you multiply that by 26%. That's your normal tax. Right, should we have time? I'm just going to go to the table as soon as we are done, and then you will see it. So I'm going to do this. Okay, let me just underneath says the normal tax would go this way. So in regards to the table, we've got 37,062, 36,702, and then you're going to plus it, and then you open brackets, and then you're going to say on the exact same line item, you say 220,600 minus 205, because that's where it falls. 220,600 minus 205,000 rand. 205,000 rand, and then you multiply this by 26%, and then you get your final figure. But do you have an idea as to what am I talking about? So given amount of 40,884, So this is going to be your normal tax final figure calculation. So it's 26%. So it's going to be 40,400. I think it's 40,400 rand. Let me just have, sorry, 40,884. 884. So that's your normal tax adjustment calculations, right? So Kolofelo, your adjustment comes in here. You're going to look at the second part will be you're looking at the age. How old is the person in terms of the rebates? Does the person qualify for the primary rebate only? Does the person qualify for both primary and secondary, or including the tertiary rate? So it's 3 rates in terms of the rebates. So looking at this person is 38 years of age. Obviously, this person is less than 65 years of age. So it's going to be only the primary rate. So you're going to say primary rebate.
14,958.
That's correct. Is that how much is it? 14,000?
958.
958. Okay, then you're going to deduct this. Everybody happy? It's 14,958, and then you're going to look at what's called the deductions on your medical tax credit. Okay, so let's bring it along. Medical tax credits. So the medical tax credit, it will bring along what you were talking about, 319, and then you multiply that by 12 because we've got the main dependents are 2, the wife and the husband. So it's going to
please make corrections on that.
you're more than welcome. 319.
Yes. So it's gonna be 638. It's for 2 members, and then the other member it's going to be 215 rand.
So
and then we have to multiply it by 12.
By 12.
Yes.
Okay, and then you're going to the other one is sorry, I didn't get that part. So it's 319 times 12 times 2, right? That's what you said.
The other one is 215 for one person. Multiplied by 12.
215 multiplied by 12. Multiplied by what? 2.
Only how many members? How many additional kids there? Is it 1 or 2? Then
It's 2.
Multiply by 2, yes.
Right. So how much is the amount? You can give me the final figure there.
319 multiplied by 12 times 2 plus 215 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 12 equals 2. It's 12,816.
12,816. So it will be 12816, and then you bracket it. So that's how you get your medical tax credit. But the medical tax credit, obviously, it will depend on how many members are there, or how many main members are there, for how long was it paid, and are there any people with regards to the disabilities as defined. So that will determine your medical tax credit. So we didn't have any persons with disabilities here, but we've got 4 members in total, 2 main and 2 secondary. Does it make sense?
Yes.
All right. So your additional medical tax credit. Any idea? But let me go back, or let me go up on the question. So you remember the contribution that this lady made, 2,500 rand. You said it's 30,000 rand, right? As an additional medical. You said multiply by 12 gives you 30,000 rands. Am I wrong? Am I correct?
Yes, you're correct.
Okay. Then let me go back to the solution down quickly. So you say additional medical
aid contribution.
Okay. Do you wanna take over as well? Okay.
Okay. We have to find the formula first so that I can know my A is which A, my B is what, my C is what. So in this case, we're going to use the formula. The one is 25% multiplied by A minus comma. This case, I think it's going to be 4 multiplied by B um, bracket plus C minus 7.5% times D.
Ah. All right. Thank you so much for that contributions, Ayako. I bet you will never forget this. All right. Even though you're getting some of them quite wrong, but one thing that I can tell you is you will never go wrong in terms of because I know you will clarify your stuff when you've got time or as you get home to deal with this one. But in this instance, you don't really need quite a formula. What you do, you just say, look at the access as to how much is Jennifer paid in a year, which we agreed that it was 30,000 rand. So it has to be adjusted by the formula. You're going to bring it into the 4 multiplied by 12,816 of there, medical scheme tax credit. So what you do is say access will be 30,000, and then you multiply by, open your brackets, and then you multiply that by 4 multiplied by 12,816, and obviously going to look at, is there any excess? All right, but it's always limited to nil. So you say 30,000. How much is 12,816 multiplied by 4? Quickly for me.
Kindly please repeat that.
How much is 12,816? That's for the medical scheme tax credit.
Yes.
And then multiply that by the formula. We bring 4 along there because there was no person with a disability as defined. And then you minus that from your 30,000 rand as part of your contributions.
So multiply by 4 and minus 30,000.
Yes. So basically you would say excess. You open your brackets. Remember, you've got 2,500 rand that was contributed for full 12 months, right?
Hmm?
And you're going to say minus, and then you open your brackets, 4 multiplied by 12,816. That's your medical scheme tax credit. And then you take the difference in between the two. So this gives us, this equals, so would equals 30,000 rands. Then 30,000 rand minus the adjusted 4 multiplied by 12,816. How much is 4 times 8, 12,816?
4 times 12,816. It's 51,264.
51,264. Obviously, it's greater than the additional contributions of 30,000 rand. That means that you're going to be limited to a 0. Okay. So you're going to have this, or you're going to have a nil. So were there any other expenses that were made? Like over-the-counter medical medications? Were they? Let's go back to the questions and look at that part if it's there. Is there any? Well, let's have a look at, okay, expenses contribution to this medical aid.
It's 10,200 for the current year versus.
There's a 10,200 rand for the qualified medical expenses. Thank you so much. So that will be part of your addition. The assumption would be this person has, she has bought additional medication over the counter. Then you put it here. Your additional medicals. Then you're going to have an amount of 10,200 rand. So let's bring it. Then you're going to have it as 10,200 rand. And right, is there anything that would come to your mind as to what do we do? The threshold, right? You remember the threshold, 7.5. You talked about this. Is that I think you didn't.
Yes, I talked about the 7.5.
Yes. How do you deal with the threshold?
I think in this case we're gonna have to multiply it
By 220,000 rand of your taxable income.
Yes, of the taxable income.
Okay. So basically you will say threshold of 7.5%. Guys, when you do questions, please make sure that you go back and do your and refresh your memory. Multiply by 260,000 rands. Sorry. So how much is it, Kulufelo?
It's 19,500.
19,500 rand. Okay, let's see. 19,500 rands. So, and how much will be your net normal tax? So your net normal tax would come from, it will come from this.
Yeah, it's 40,000.
Minus these. And these are going to be separate. So you're going to say 40,880, you minus 14,958, and then you minus your 12,816. So how much is the normal tax?
Let me do it for you quickly.
Please. Say net normal tax. And we're going to have whatever the figure that you're going to get. So
wait, let me get you straight. It's 40,880 minus 12,000. Oh, not 12,000. Minus 14,958 minus 12,816, right?
yes, yes.
Then I get equals to, or do I need to subtract also the 19,000?
No, you don't have to.
Okay, so the answer is 13,106.
13,106. Is it 106?
Yes, 106.
Okay, so these will be how much you owe towards SARS at the end of the tax period. Is there any other questions before I move on to, because Kolo asked for, what do you call it? Yeah, the travel allowance.
Yes, travel allowances.
Yes. Any other questions before I move on, my good people, regarding the medical aid? Look, with regards to the medical aid, you just need to practice quite a few number of questions, and I think you'll be fine. You won't have a problem with that. So as soon as you do encounter problems, you just let me know. Right, and since you guys don't have any questions in regards to the medical aid or the taxable income calculations, I'm gonna go back to, as Kulufelo asked, the travel allowance. I just want to go through to my what do you call it, my notes. All right, Kolo, did you encounter any problems with regards to the travel allowance, or you just want to expand your knowledge?
No, I didn't encounter any problem. I gave myself time and I was working through it. So yeah, I fully understand it now. I just need more practice, but I at least now get an idea of the steps that I need to take.
Okay, not a problem. I'd like you guys to have a look at okay, I picked question 5.2, and we can all do it together. All right, it goes this way. It's 27 marks under 32 minutes. It says that your cousin Bart Jr., 25 years of age, sent you an email to ask for assistance regarding the inclusions of the fringe benefit to his salary package. I hope there's a travel allowance here. So here's an extract from his email. I've been employed for 2 years and I've just received my new salary package because I've completed my studies. My new salary package includes certain fringe benefit. First of all, can you explain to me what is meant by fringe benefit? I think we all know by that one. There's no need for us to actually define that. So it's a benefit in the form of any other form except the cash payment. But I will be receiving the following fringe benefit as of the 1st of March 2020, and I would like you to calculate the taxable portion of each of these benefits for the year of assessment ended 28 February 2021. But one thing that you guys must always bear in mind is they're not going to give you when is the year of assessment ending. You just have to know in your head that is 28, 29 of February every year. Okay. So in continuation, you can assume that I will receive the benefits for 12 months except for the holiday accommodation. Okay. I don't think there's a travel allowance on this question. Let me have a look at it closely. So it's one of the, I think it's 5.3. It says the travel allowance I will receive on a monthly basis. Travel allowance of 3,000 Rand, 3,800 Rand per month. And the cost of my vehicle, including the VAT, it amounts to 172,500. I accept that I will be traveling 15,400 kilometers for the business, and the total will be 26,500 Rand for 2021 year of assessment. I expect my actual cost for 12 months to be as follows. I've got a fuel of 12,000 Rand, an insurance premium, as well as the license fees of 4,200, including the maintenance cost. Okay, Kolo and the rest of the students, I think this would make you happy, as it's what you were looking for. Yeah. Okay, can we get on to the question now? Right, I'm going to reread again. Travel allowance that will be received on a monthly basis. It will be an amount of 3,800 per month. The cost of my vehicle, including the VAT, amounts to 172,500. I accept that I will travel 15,420 kilometers for business purposes, and a total of 26,500 Rand. 26,500 kilometers for the 2021 year of assessment. I expect my actual cost for 12 months to be as follows. The fuel will be 12,000 Rand. Insurance premiums, insurance premiums and license fees are 4,200. And the maintenance is 2,400 Rand. Okay, let me give you the best advice. When you are given a question, the first key that you must kickstart your question is to approach. You need to know how to approach the question. All right. In anyhow, the question can be given, but if you know your rules or you know the way or how to approach the questions, the chances are you will never go wrong. The second part is to know how are you going to do the question. Right? The third part will be my principles. What am I supposed to follow being given the information? What am I supposed to do? But the first key part of the approach will help you. Okay, so in this kind of a question, when you're given the travel allowance, the first thing that you must identify is the kilometers, because you're always going to be given two types of kilometers for you to determine the third one. Okay, they can give you the private kilometers, they can give you the business kilometers, and leave out your the total kilometers being given. So meaning that you need to determine, it's kind of like maths. All right. So in here, the question, we are given the business kilometers along with the total kilometers to be traveled. Makes sense. Meaning that you're going to look for the private kilometers. So this is how you're going to approach the question. You're going to say, my business kilometers. And then you go down, you'll say, what else am I given for? The business kilometers. Okay, and then what am I looking for? What am I looking for? What am I looking for? Private, because it's not given. All right, the bigger question will be how. So the how part is easy. You just go to the question and look for how much is my business kilometers. Sorry, actually I wanted to say total kilometers here. Total kilometers. So your total kilometers would be, very quickly, 26,500 kilometers, right? And my business would be
15,400.
So the difference will be how much? How much is 26,000 minus 15,000?
It's 11,000.
11,000. That's your. Is that 11,000 on the dot?
100. 11,000.
That's what you are looking for. You got it. You got it. And that's fine. And the next approach, Kulo, you want to help them?
The next approach would have to calculate the deemed cost per kilometer.
Deemed cost per kilometers. And for you to calculate the deemed cost per kilometers, where do you go?
Okay, you first need to know how much is the vehicle, and then you use the table that was given.
The table that was given, yes.
Yes. So in this case, we have to find out what's the value of the vehicle.
Okay, the deemed, as she said, the deemed cost. And again, you're going to look for, is that deemed cost and what?
The deemed, we first need to find the deemed cost. That's my B.
Okay.
And then sorry.
The actual.
Yes, and then the actual cost.
Actual cost. Actual cost. Okay. So how do you determine your deemed cost?
With your deemed cost, you have to find out how much is the value of the vehicle, so we can use the table that's provided.
So you're going to look for?
Sir?
The deemed cost?
Yes, we need to find out how much is the value of the vehicle first.
All right, let's go back and look at how much is the value of the vehicle. 172,500.
Okay, then it's going to fall under the second table.
Okay, I'm afraid that I think you're mixing things. It will fall under your actual cost, not the deep.
Okay.
Yeah, it just falls under your actual cost. Then you're going to look at the table as you said. What do you find under your table?
On the table, it's the line that says exceeds 95,000 but does not exceed 190,000.
So this is what you do. You do what's called the wear and tear, right?
Yeah.
Or you can call it the depreciation, as the accounting will always say, depreciation. So what do? You say 172,000. Is it 172,500?
Yes.
172,500
Multiply by 7 years.
divided by 7 years. Not multiply, divide.
Divide by 7 years, yes.
Right. And then how much is the amount?
It's
How much is 172,500 divided by 7 years?
it's 120
120
7500.
500. No, it can't be.
It can't be. I know. I made a mistake.
Yeah, it's
It's 86,250.
it's how much?
I got
86,250.
2464.
Okay, let's have. Is it Pell? Pell, how much are you getting?
Isn't it? It's 172,500 divided by 2. Sorry,
7.
divided by 7.
Yes.
It's 24,642,
Right.
85714.
Oh, I think you can allow me to round it off, right? I'm gonna bring it to 3.
Right.
Okay. Godfrey, I think you were going to say the same amount. No?
Yeah, I got the same amount. Like,
Not a problem. And what else do you? No problem. Then you bring your expected expenditure, right? So your fuel along with your insurance, and I think it's insurance and what? License fees, right? License fees, and you also bring your maintenance cost for adjustments, maintenance costs for adjustments, right? I'm just gonna go up and look at the figures here. It says that my fuel is 12,000 rand, and the other one is 4,200 rand. So you'd say The fuel is 12 grand. Just put it here. So you can just have a look at it. It's not bad. You just copy and paste. And then let's go back and look at the maintenance cost. Maintenance cost is 3450. Maintenance cost is 3450. Can somebody help me with the total amount here? 3450. How much are you getting in total? They're all finished, right? Okay, plus 12,000 plus 4,200 plus 3450. I've got 44,293. So that's my total. I hope you all got the same amount. But 44,293,293. This is your total actual cost. Okay. 44,290. So to get your actual cost per kilometer, you're going to say 44,293, and then you multiply, sorry, you divide it by 26,500 rand. Sorry, 26,500 as your total kilometers traveled. So what you do, because you need to get the actual cost per kilometers, you do this, and then you divide this by 26,500 rand. 26,500. It gives me an amount of, and then you multiply that by 100. 167.14. Then you're going to say equals 167.14. That's what I got. Does that make sense? Hello?
Yes, sir, it makes sense. Can I ask you a question?
Please.
Normally when you get a question, right? I want to know, how do you know that they require you to calculate actual cost or deemed cost? Because what I've noticed is that on the other exercise on the study guide, they will
Yes.
ask you a question and they will say, you must calculate travel allowance, and then they will tackle it in a way whereby you don't have to calculate actual cost. And then another question they ask you, but then you have to determine the actual cost also. How do I determine between the two what I'm required to do? That's my
Okay.
question.
All right. First and foremost, it will depend on how the question has been structured. Maybe they wanted you to calculate the actual cost only, or maybe they wanted you to calculate the deemed cost only. All right. But if the question says that calculate the taxable portion of the travel allowance, being given the information that would lead you to calculate the deemed cost along with your actual cost. Because remember, the reason behind this whole thing of calculating the actual cost and the deemed cost, we just need to check which one is greater in between the two, so that we'll be able to calculate the travel allowance portion.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Send me that questions and I will have a look at it and I will tell you as to why are they doing that. You can email me that one.
Excuse me, sir?
You can email me that question if you do have my email address.
Okay. Can you please type the email address on the text box, the
No problem.
message box?
No, it's fine. I will do that at the end of the session. Right.
Thank
Can we
you.
get to the deemed cost? Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Thank you. All right. This would require us to go to the table, right? As Kola said. Kola, what are you finding on your table?
On the table, fixed cost is 55894.
55894. So the
And full,
fixed cost would be 55894, and then you divide it by the total kilometers again, right?
yes,
And then you multiply it by 100, right?
yeah.
And then how much are you getting? So let me just go to my calculator. 55984 divided by 26,500, and then you multiply that
It's
by
210.
so you multiply that by your 100. Sorry. So your figure will be 211, right? 0.26.
Correct.
Just that amount
Yeah.
will be 211.26. Right. So the repairs, you're going to take it as it is, as it appears on your table. Can somebody give me how much is the rent for the repairs? Quickly. I don't have the table with me. I rely on you.
Sorry, sir, if you may ask, which learning unit is it?
This is the fringe benefit. I think it's learning unit 6.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So how much is the, okay, let me quickly go to my table. I think I'll find it. Okay, 118.1. And 46. Sorry, my fuel will be, come on, 46 friends, 8 cents. 8. Then what you do is you total it again as we did with the actual cost. So you're going to
Sorry, can I please ask?
yes.
Say, according to the table, the fuel cost should be 118.1, and then maintenance should be 46.8.
6.8. I think I put the fuel here. I made a mistake. Sorry about that. So your total will be 376.16. You'll agree with me on that one, right? 376.16. Okay, so that's your total deemed cost per kilometer. Right, then we go and look at our actual cost. Actual cost is 167.14. Then the act tells us that we need to pick the greater. The greater will be 376.16 is what we are going to use. Can you see the reason behind why we're doing the actual cost calculations along with the deemed cost calculation?
Yes, I can see now. I understand clearly.
Do you get it now?
I get it, yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's have a look at the travel allowance. So this person was given 3,800 in a month. Okay. So you say my travel allowance is 3,000. Sorry, it's for the full months, right? So what you do is say 3.8 multiplied by 12. How much is it? Let me quickly look at my calculator. 3.8 of 12. I've got 45,600 rand. 45,600 rand. You remember the travel allowance, we were given 3,800 a month. That's why I'm using that one. Are you guys happy? Are you guys happy? Right. And then we're going to compare that with our business travel. So the business travel is going to be in this way. The business travel allowance, you just say, how much is the business kilometers? Let's go to the question. Business kilometers is, we're going to use not the business, the total kilometers travel. Sorry about that. But why do we have to use we have to use the business. So we're going to say 15,400 rand. You're going to say 15,400, and then you multiply by the greater in between your deemed and actual cost. So you say multiply by 376.16 is the greatest, 376.16, and then you divide that by 100. Let me quickly adjust that. 15,400 rand multiplied by 373.16. Then you divide that by 100. Right, it's actually 5466.64, right? Then looking at it, you'd see that the travel allowance is actually less than the business travel allowance. So it means that there's no taxable income for travel allowance. For the travel allowance. You're done. You submit your question as it is. Is it bad?
Not really bad, sir.
Okay, any questions? Any questions? Everybody happy? Okay, that will be.
Hi,
Sir,
Godfrey, you can go ahead. Sinizo, I have recognized you. Sorry.
Sorry, sir. Where did you get this 5594 for fixed cost?
Let's see. On the table.
55,000.
On the table. Kolo, can you tell us which page is the table?
Which page?
Just hold on a second. I'm going to give you now. It's page 23 of the first notes. But let me see the first. Page 23. Of the notes that have unit 1 until unit 4, I think. Yeah.
Okay, she says that the first part of your study guide, remember we've got part 1 and part 2, but please look at learning unit as well. It should have that table. Learning unit 6, it should have that table. So basically what you do is you just match the for you to get the deemed cost, you're going to look at the line item that makes your, I think it's the travel allowance for the cost of the vehicle, and then you're going to look at how much is the cost of the vehicle, how much is it ranging from to where, and then you fill yourself in that tax bracket line, and then you divide it by the total kilometers traveled, and then you multiply that by 100 rand, so that you can convert it to your rand. Okay, and the reason why we do that is because we need to match the repairs per cost as well as the fuel per cost, or the maintenance. Somebody said the maintenance. I think I made a mistake here. So this is what you do. Sinisi, does that answer your question?
Not really, sir, because I'm in page 152, but there's no this amounts. There's no such amount here.
Are you on the table?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me have a look at my guide quickly. I'll give you that now, just a moment. Okay. But there must be a table. Table. Okay, cool is right. Go to your, it's not actually on the first part, it's on the second part. If you go, but it is page 22.
Page 22.
Go to page 22 of your study guide. She is right. All right, go to learning unit 6 of your study guide, and you go to page 22.
Okay.
Did you get it?
No, I'm still looking, sir.
Okay, no problem. Let me take Godfrey in the meantime. Godfrey, okay. You seems like you had a question.
So I just I would like you to go further, like try to explain from the beginning, né? Yes. So that maybe I could catch up, because at the moment I was trying to take notes, then I lost some other important things that you were doing.
Okay. From the beginning, as in like where exactly? From the first learning unit?
No, sir, like from, I don't know, it was on the kilometer. On total kilometer, I saw you. We just take it from the question, then Also the what you call business kilometers were on the question. Then we calculated what we're looking for. Thereafter, we go down to the deemed cost and actual cost. I think that's where I lost you.
So you got it. You got me lost.
Yeah.
Let me see. Well, let me just adjust it. Okay, let's go to the question.
Yeah.
Here's the question. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can.
All right. The question says that the the taxpayer is receiving 3,800 rand per month. Okay. The
Yeah.
cost of the vehicle, including that, is 172,500 rand.
Yeah.
And the taxpayer was expected to travel 15,400 kilometers for the business purposes. Can you see that
Mm.
part?
Yeah.
I think that's where the story starts. And the total kilometers, it will be 26,500 kilometers for the year of assessment for this. Okay, let's explain this part. So the business kilometers is 15,400, and
Yeah.
we bought the total kilometers of 26,500 kilometers. But what we don't have here is the private kilometers. We don't have that. We have to look for that. Okay. So in order for you to get the private kilometers travel, you need to take the total kilometers travel and then you minus your business kilometers travel, which is what we did, 26,500 rand, you minus 15,400 rand. Sorry, 15,400 kilometers. It's here. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
And then we got our private being 11,100 kilometers. That's your private. Sometimes you can be given the business kilometers along with your private kilometers. It means that you need to add back so that you can get your total kilometers. So what I'm trying to say is they can give you any of these three. You just have to determine one.
Yeah.
So as soon as you got your private kilometers, but we didn't use it that much if you can look at the question itself. What we have used mostly was the business kilometers as well as the total kilometers travel. Because what are we going to do with the private kilometers? It's not part of the business. Okay, and then that's your first step. The second step is you need to calculate your deemed cost along with your actual cost. How do you determine that? This actual part, it will, in most cases, is given in the question. You just have to adjust your rent here. It's always limited to 7 years or below 7 years. Are you happy? The tricky one is the deemed cost. It's not that tricky because you just have to go to page 22 of your guide and then you calculate your deemed cost because you need to convert that into cents. That's why you have to make some adjustments on that one. So the tricky part is the fixed cost only. The fixed cost, you're going to look at the line that matches the cost of the car on your table, and then you divide that by the total kilometers travel, you multiply that by 100, and then the repairs and the maintenance always given. You just copy and paste.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. As soon as you've got your actual cost per kilometers and the deemed cost per kilometers, you're going to look at which one is greater than which in between the two. So in this question, we found out that the deemed cost is greater than the actual cost. That's why we used it for the travel allowance. So you're going to look at how much of the travel allowance has been given, which is 3,000 rand. Sorry, 3,800 rand for 12 months. It amounted to 45,600 rand. And then you're going to look at the business. So in terms of the business travel, you're going to look at how much are the kilometers for the business travel. Then you multiply it by the greater in between the deemed and the actual, and then you divide it by your 100. And then you're going to look at, let's say, for example, on the travel allowance, let's assume that it was 90,000. Obviously, it's greater than the business travel allowance. So that means you're going to be taxable on the difference between 90,000 and 54,466. So in here, I'm going to put the difference. I think it's about 30,000 something, 30 whatever. I'm just gonna put anything because of time. So it's about 30,000. Let me just say 555. So that was gonna be your taxable income for the travel allowance.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Are you answered?
Yeah, I'm fine, sir.
Okay. Any questions from somebody? So thank you guys for being part of our house today, and I will see you next week, bright and early, 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock. But don't forget to send me emails if you've got problems, and then I'll be able to attend back to the emails and answer them back.